Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaskrityam Ganadhisha Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Naishtike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Nalina Netraya Venobadya Vinodine Radhadara Sudhapana Shaline Vanamaline Mahabhava Swarupastvam Krishna Priya Variyasi Prema Bhakti Prade Devi Shri Radhika Tvam Namostute. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10. Bhagavatam is the answer of all questions. And text number 14. Adidaivam atadhyatmam Adibhutam iti Prabhu Ekam Purusham Viryam Tridha Bhidyatachana Adidaivam atadhyatmam Adibhutam iti Prabhu Athaikam Purusham Viryam Tridha Bhidyatachana Adidaivam atadhyatmam Adibhutam iti Prabhu Athaikam Purusham Viryam Tridha Bhidyatachana. Adidaivam, controlling entities. Atha, now, Adhyatmam, the controlled entities. Adibhutam, the material bodies. Iti, thus. Prabhu, the Lord. Atha, in this way. Ekam, one only. Purusham, of his nature. Potency. Tridha, in three. Abhidyata, divided. Tat, that. Shru, just hear from me. Translation. Just hear from me how the potencies of his lordship divides one into three, called the controlling entities, the controlled entities, and the material bodies. in manner mentioned above. See, in nutshell, the shlok itself tells everything comes from the Lord. Whether it is Adidevam, the controlling demigods, the controlled living entities, and all material manifestation of material bodies, everything that comes from him, and that is his energy. Ananda Sharira Akashat Purushasya Vicheshtataha Ojasaho Balam Jnane Tata Prano Mahan Asuhu. From the sky situated within the transcendental body of manifesting Mahavishnu, sense, energy, mental force, and bodily strength are generated, as well as the sum total of the fountain head of the total living force. Anuprananti yam pranaha pranantam sarvajantushu apanantam apananti naradevam iva nogaha. As the followers of a king follow their lord, similarly when the total energy is in motion, all other living entities move, and when the total energy stops endeavoring, all other living entities stop sensual activity. The crude example for this, like when you sit at one place, then what happens sometimes? Your leg get numb because the consciousness flowing through the nerves, when it gets stopped, automatically activities performed by the leg also get stopped. It becomes very difficult to mobilize your hand and your feet or leg. So same way, when the living entity, the higher fountainhead source of energy, Lords, when he goes in a transcendental slumber, the whole cosmic manifestation goes in his body. That also becomes inactive. The individual living entities are completely dependent on the total energy of the Supreme Purusha. No one has an independent existence. Just as no electric lamp has independent effulgence, each and every electrical instrument depends fully on the total powerhouse. The total powerhouse depends on the reservoir of water for generating electricity. Water depends on the clouds depends on the sun depends on creation, and the creation depends on the movement of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. Thus, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is the cause of all causes. Pranena kshipata kshutatruda antarajayate vibho ipasato jakshaktascha pranamukham nirbhidyata. The living force, being agitated by the Virata Purusha, generated hunger and thirst, and when he desired to drink and eat, the mouth opened. The process by which all living beings in the womb of the mother develop their sense organs and sense perception appears to follow the same principle in case of a Virata Purusha. The sum total of all living entities, therefore, the supreme cause of all generation is not impersonal or without desire. The desire for all kinds of sense perception and sense organ exist in the Supreme, and thus they take place in the individual persons. This desire is the nature of the Supreme Living Being, the absolute truth, because he has the sum total of all mouths. The entities have mouths. Similarly, with all other senses and sense organs, here the mouth is the symbolic representation of all the sense organs, for the same principles apply to others also. So here one thing is clear, that neither we can become desireless or nor the Lord is impersonal. And being a part and parcel of the Lord, we are also having the same qualities as the Lord has. Like the drop of ocean has the same qualities, chemicals, as the water in the ocean. So same way, being the part and parcel of the Lord, all the qualities that Lord has, we are also having, but minutely. So same way, the desire that exists in the Lord, and the desire is the nature of the supreme living being, the absolute truth. And that's why in the beginning of Narayana Upanishad it says, Atha Purusho Vai Kamayat. When Lord desired, then the creation took place. So, as Lord desires, but our desire makes us suffer in this material world by the three energies of the Lord. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidhaivika. That makes us suffer because we have a desire, but that is perverted desire. And that perverted desire is to enjoy separately from the Lord. One by one, bodily senses, they get developed. That has explained in this verse. Like a Virata Purusha, when he agitates the living force, from that generates the hunger and thirst. And when that hunger and thirst get generated, then the mouth develops. Because if you have a hunger and thirst, you need to drink it or eat it. Unless and until you have mouth, you can't eat, or neither you can drink. So first the thing has created, and then through which we can enjoy that has created. Vishaya Vastu, and then Bhoga Vastu, or the medium through which you can enjoy that Vishaya Vastu. That's why Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, these are the 5 elements. Then 5 tanmatras, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And then senses got developed, through which you can enjoy these 3 things. So that we have to understand. First, the thing which is meant for enjoyment, the object has created. And the ultimate object is who? Krishna. Because he created everything for the living entity. So living entities, if they want to enjoy, then we can enjoy only when we come in relation with the Krishna. When we establish our relationship with the Krishna, then only. Because that's our supreme object. That's the thing which will give us a real enjoyment. See how this thing, they have explained so nicely in that way. In the next verse, then it is explained, Mukhatastanu nirbhinnam jivva tatropajayate tato nana rasodhyane jivhayayo adhigamyate. From the mouth, the palate became manifested, and thereupon the tongue was also generated. After this, all the different tastes distant, so that the tongue can relish them. This gradual process of evolution suggests the explanation of controlling deities, Adi Daiva. Because Varuna is the controlling deity for the relishable juices, therefore the mouth becomes the resting place for the tongue, which tastes all different juices, of which the controlling deity is Varuna. This suggests therefore that Varuna was also generated along with the development of the tongue. The tongue and the palate, being instrumental, are Adibhutam, or forms of the matter, but the functioning deity, who is living entity, is Adidaiva. Whereas the person undergoing the function is Adhyatma. The three categories are also explained as to their birth after the opening the mouth of the Virata Purusha. The four principles mentioned in this verse serve to explain three main principles, namely Adhyatma, Adidaiva, Adibhutam, as explained before. So again here, Adidaiva, the controlling deity, which Prabhupada says here that the Varuna. Adibhuta, that is mouth, through which actually Adhyatma means Jiva, that he enjoys. So their relationship as explained here. Adhyatma, Adidaiva and Adibhuta. Unless and until they have a proper connection to each other, they will not produce anything actually. They can't function properly. That's why it is said in Bhagavad Gita that if the living entities, they wanted to have a peace in this human society, then they should perform sacrifice to please demigods. Why? Because these demigods, they control all your senses. If you want that your senses should function properly, then demigods should be pleased. So once demigods, they get pleased because they have control over the material elements, and through that material element, Jiva can enjoy in this material world. Because he is covered with that material elements. So this is the intricacy, the relationship between the three energies of the Lord. Vibakshor mukhato bhumno vannirvaga vyarutam tayo Jale chaitasya suchiram nirodha sanjayata. When the Supreme desired to speak, speeches were vibrate from the mouth. Then the controlling deity fire was generated from the mouth. But when he was lying in the water, all these functions remained suspended. So another example. When Lord desired to speak like a Virata Purusha, when he desired to speak, then speeches, different sort of speeches, they were vibrated from the mouth. And then the controlling deity for the speech is explained here is Agni. And that is generated from the mouth. And that's why in the Vishwarupa, when Lord showed his form, There is one phase particularly that Arjuna saw, that Jwalamukhaya, from which the Agni is coming up. Because Agni is created from the mouth of the Lord. The peculiarity of the gradual development of the different senses is simultaneously supported by their controlling deities. It is to be understood, therefore, that the activities of the sense organs are controlled by the will of the Supreme. The senses are, so to speak, offering a license for the conditioned souls, who are to use the properly under the control of the controlling deity deputed by the Supreme Lord. One who violates such a controlling regulation has to be punished by degradation to the lower status of a life. Consider, for the example, the tongue and its controlling deity Varuna. The tongue is meant for eating and main animals and birds. Each have their different tastes because of different license. The taste of human being and that of a swine are not on the same level. The controlling deity, however, awards or certifies a particular type of a body when a particular living entity develops a taste in terms of a different modes of nature. If the human being develops taste without discrimination, as does the swine, then the controlling deity is certainly certified for the next term to award him the body of a swine. The swine accepts any kind of a foodstuff, including stool, and human being who has developed such a indiscriminate taste must be prepared for graded life in the next life. Such a life is also God's grace, because the conditioned soul desire a body like that of perfectly testing a particular type of foodstuff. If a man gets the body of a swine, it must be considered the grace of the Lord, because the Lord awards the facility. After death, the next body is offered by the superior control, not blindly. A human being, therefore, must be on his guard as to what sort of a body he is going to have in the next life. An irresponsible life of indiscrimination is risky, and that is the declaration of the scripture. It's a big blow that has given in this purport. A human being is therefore must be on his guard as to what sort of body he is going to have in next life. An irresponsible life of indiscrimination is risky, and that is the declaration of the scripture. In this purport, Prabhupada has given wonderful example through which we can understand the purpose of creation. Purpose of creation to facilitate Jiva to get liberated. But if Jiva wants to enjoy his senses separately from Krishna, then what happens to him? Without any discrimination, if you got after getting a human form, without any discrimination, if you start behaving, then Prabhupada says its next life is going to award you a body according to the abominable activities that you have performed. A human being which has a tendency to eat anything and everything, that living entity becomes like a swine in the next life. That's what the scripture says. Jiva himself becomes the cause of his own degradation. Krishna has an attraction. The word Krishna means who karshati, who attracts you towards him. And where is Krishna? दादा, कृष्ण कहाँ है? तो गोलोक में कौन रहता है? गोलोक में कौन रहता है? गोलोक नामनी निज धामनी। हाँ, तो फिर कहाँ खींचेंगे वो जीवात्मा को? वही खींचेंगे ना। गोलका कहाँ है? ऊपर है ना। तो कृष्ण कहाँ खींचेगा? और भौतिक जगत में जो आकर्षण रहता है वो क्या करता है? नीचे खींचता है ना। कोई भी चीज पकड़ोगे तो क्या हो जाती है? तोड़ोगे। तो इसमें भी आकर्षण है और कृष्ण में भी आकर्षण है, लेकिन कृष्ण का आकर्षण कैसा है? कितने भी नीचे क्यों ना गिरे हो, आपको ऊपर खींच लेता है ना। और भौतिक जगत का आकर्षण कैसा है? कितने भी ऊपर क्यों ना चढ़े हो, नीचे खींच लेता। Got it? No. तो कृष्ण का आकर्षण कैसा है? इसीलिए कर्षति इति सा कृष्ण कहा गया, क्योंकि वो खींचते। कहाँ खींचते? ऊपर, है ना। ये मध्व संप्रदाय के विश्वेश्वरीय तीर्थ करके, विश्वेश तीर्थ करके स्वामी जी है, पेजावर मठ क्या, उन्होंने ये बताया। बोले कृष्ण का भी आकर्षण, लेकिन कृष्ण का आकर्षण ऐसा है जो आपको ऊपर खींच लेता है। और भौतिक जगत का गुरुत्वाकर्षण जो है, जो भूमि भू आकर्षण इसको हम कहते हैं, वो आपको नीचे खींचते हैं। तो आपको विचार करना है कि कौन से आकर्षण के प्रभाव में आना है, कौन से आकर्षण के प्रभाव में आना है? कृष्ण के। See, Krishna has his own attraction, and Earth also has her own attraction. You that throw in the air, what happens? That goes up in the air or comes down? Because Earth has her own attraction. Whatever you want to throw it up, the gravitational force gets that down. But once living entity gets attracted by Krishna, then what happens? How low he may be in his position, maybe in the rasatal, talatal, patal, atal, anywhere. If he gets attracted to Krishna, without any rocket he goes to, or without any satellites he goes to higher planets. Krishna attracts him so much, from any lower stage he goes to Golok. So it depends upon you, whose influence you wanted to have. The influence of gravitational force or influence of Lord Krishna's attraction. To understand these things, this whole metaphysical evolution, creation has explained. That's the real reason behind this, of explaining the whole creation, how it takes place. Nasike nirvidyate tam dodhyuyati na bhasvati tatra vayur gandhavaho grihano nasi jigrashtaha. Thereafter, when the Supreme Purusha desired to smell odors, the nostrils and respiration were generated. The nasal instrument and odors came into existence, and the controlling deity of air carrying smell also became manifested. The nasal instrument, odor, and the controlling deity, air, smelling, etc., all became manifested simultaneously when the Lord desired to smell. The Vedic mantras confirm this statement in the Upanishad. Thus, statement that everything is first desired by the Supreme before the subordinate living entity can act upon it. Atha purusho vai narayano kamayat prajas srujayeti prajas srujeran. When that Lord Narayana, he desired for creation, then everything can come out. So here, when he desired to smell, then the instrument, which is nasal or nostril, that produced. Then there is a air, because if there is no air, you will not get a smell. Vayu, that becomes the instrumental to carry the smell, and that smell gets perceived by the instrument, that is nose. The idea is that living entity cannot do anything independently. I have seen one person. You put any damn thing which smells so foul and filthy, he is not able to smell anything. He never feels any difference. Because that, even though there is a air, but the function of smelling, that is not done by that person. Nose is there, air is there, that foul smell is there, but that function of that instrument is not. He is not perceiving that thing. So, living entity is not at all independent in this world. He is so much dependent on so many things. He can simply think of doing something independently, but he cannot act dependently. This independence in thinking is there by the grace of Lord, but the thinking can be given shape by the grace of Lord. And therefore, a common saying is that man proposes, and who disposes? God disposes. हम कल्पना कर सकते, लेकिन उसको साकार कौन करेगा? भगवान ना, या हम खुद करेंगे? कर सकते हैं? नहीं। अभी जैसे ये उम्र में हिरन की जैसे भागने की इच्छा हो जाए तो भाग सकते हैं, लेकिन भगवान चाहे तो भगा सकते हैं। ऐसा पीछे कुत्ता भेज देंगे कि जो काटने के लिए दौड़े, तो हिरन क्या चित्ते से भी जोर से भागेंगे, है ना? तो अपने आप से इस भौतिक जगत में हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि हम उतने स्वतंत्र नहीं हैं। The whole explanation is on the subject of the absolute dependence of the living entities and absolute independence of the Supreme Lord. Less intelligent persons claiming to be an equal level with the God must first prove themselves to be absolute and independent, and then they must substantiate their claim of being God. Actually, all these words, they have like a 2-3 lines per word. Should we continue? See, Prabhupada in this purport, he clears away why these all things has explained. He says that the whole explanation is on the subject of the absolute dependence of the living entities and absolute independence of the Supreme Lord. Less intelligent persons claiming to be on an equal level with the God must first prove themselves to be absolute and independent. Substantiate their claim to being one with the God. Because most of the impersonalists, they wanted to become one with the God. Dandadarana matrena naro narayana bhavet. That's what they are. They wanted to take sannyas so that they wanted to become like a Narayana. But you can't be. Because you are not independent. You are covered by this material body. And through this body, with the help of the demigods, you are able to do something which you want to enjoy. But still you can't do that unless and until Lord gives his sanction. Independence that you have. Yadatmani nirologam atmanam cha didikshritah nirbhinneya akshinitasya jyotish chakshur gunagraha. Now, he is explaining about the eyes. Thus, when everything existed in the darkness, the desire to see himself and all that was created, then the eyes, the illuminating God's sun and the power of vision and the object of sight all became manifested. The universe is by nature dense darkness, and therefore the total creation is called tamasa or darkness. The night is the real feature of the universe. For then one cannot see anything including oneself. The Lord, but out of his causeless mercy, desired to see himself and all the creation as well, and thus the sun became manifested. The power of vision of all living entities became possible, and the object of vision were also manifested. This means that the whole phenomenal world became visible after the creation of sun. So very important point that has cleared here, that this whole creation is known as a tamas. Tamas means darkness. So if you come in contact with the tamas, what will happen? You will be in the darkness. If you go to the room where there is no light, what will be there? Darkness. So Jiva, when he comes in contact with the Lord, with this material world, he comes in contact with the darkness. Where he forgot his own identity. The universe is by nature dense darkness, and therefore the total creation called tamas. The night is the real feature of the universe. The real feature of this universe to be in the darkness. And that's why it is said, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. One should go towards the light, not the darkness. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar Jaha Krishna Tarana Hi Maya Radhikar. So if you want to get rid of this darkness, where you have to go? Krishna. Because he is like a sun, which takes away the darkness from our heart. So any question, any comment? Come back again. I've not understood what the first thing you have said. Huh?
You're saying that, the question is that in Krishna consciousness we should go directly to Krishna, not to other deities like Agni, Sun, Varuna.
That's what you want to say?
That's what I want here. Was that we go directly to Krishna, that we don't go to them.
Why you have to go to other demigods?
Like the demigod.
Where it is said that we have to go? I never said anything like that.
I learned it in this temple.
In this temple, that you should go to demigods.
No, we should not go to them. We should not go to them.
So that's question or comment?
In relation to today's verses,
Huh.
where the different senses are controlled by different deities.
Huh.
So our question is, do we go to the sun deity, sun god, Varuna, Agni? Why do we go to them?
We don't have to go. Where it is mentioned that we have to go. We never discussed about that. I'm not discussing about that. It is said the senses are controlled by them.
Not us.
We are not totally independent in this world. All our activities are dependent on these demigods. If they are in favor, then you can see. If there is no sun at all, no light at all, what you are going to see? Forget about Krishna, you are not going to see yourself. Huh? So no need to go to these demigods. We are not pleasing them. Are given by Krishna as an in charge for your activities done or the functions done by your senses. They are there for that only. Krishna is Krishna. You have to ultimately go to Krishna's only, not any demigods. श्लोक कौन सा है? श्लोक कौन सा है? हाँ? संख्या क्या है? 35। मालिक हम अभी तक 22 तक पहुंचे, आप 35 कहाँ चले गए? 22वां चल रहा है हमारा अभी। इसीलिए जब बोलता हूं तो सुनो, पढ़ो मत। पढ़ते जाओगे तो फिर कहाँ पहुंचोगे मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा, और जो बता रहा हूँ वो सुन नहीं पाओगे फिर। हाँ? ओ क्या नाम है उनका? अभी उनके लिए पढ़ने, अभी पढ़ता हूँ अगला श्लोक, रुको, वो आपके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट। 22वां श्लोक। बोध्यमानस्य ऋषिभिर आत्मानस्तज्जिकिष्टितः कर्णौ च निर्भिद्यताम् दिश्रोत्रम गुणग्रह। Here, by development of the desire of a great sages to know the ears, the power of hearing, the controlling deity of a hearing, an object of hearing became manifested. The great sages desire to hear about the self. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, by advancement of a knowledge, one should try to know about the Supreme Lord. the summum bonum of everything. Knowledge does not mean knowledge only of the laws of nature or physical knowledge, which are working by the direction of the Lord. The scientists are eager to hear about the physical laws working in the material nature. They are eager to hear through the medium of a radio and television about things taking place far away from them on other planets. But they should know that the power of hearing and the instruments for hearing were given to them by the Lord for hearing about the self or about the Lord. Unfortunately, the power of hearing is misused in the hearing the vibrations of mundane affairs. The great sages were interested in hearing about the Lord through Vedic knowledge and nothing more. That is the beginning of oral reception of knowledge. ये ना ये इससे ज्यादा ज्ञान प्राप्त करना है, इससे नहीं। तो कथा के समय इसको खोल के रखो अच्छी तरह से, इसको चाहे तो बंद कर दो। आप उल्टा कर रहे हो, कान बंद रख रहे हो और आंखों से पढ़ते जा रहे हो, और कहाँ पे है वही भूल गए। आपका श्रवण यंत्र कहाँ पे है? और श्रवण यंत्र कहाँ है आपका? मशीन, हियरिंग मशीन, ऑल्टर पे रखा पूजा करने के लिए। अरे महाशय कैसे होगा? अच्छा, वो कृष्ण बलराम लगा के खड़े हैं। और 3 दिन के बाद पूछिए फिर 35वें श्लोक के बारे में। ठीक है, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। कैसे होगा मालिक? हाँ